Right, and what I'll do is I'll just check on there. Right, so if so I apologise to anyone that has seen this part of it, but I've scheduled this invasion and oh, here we go. Right, and what I'll do is I'll just check. Let's just get rid of that there, down there. This is the problem doing live. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is my volume and everything okay for you at your end?
Yeah, it's good, mate.
A massive echo in here. It's just a one-car garage with like plasterboard on the wall.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it as long as we can hear you. You're the star of the show this week, so as long as you hear what you say, then that's all that matters, really. Okay, so welcome to the Beard Invades guys in the chat and anyone that's watching after this. This week we've got Dean from Dean Makes in. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you? You good?
Hot. I'm sweating. And you know what? I bumped my head twice yesterday. Believe it or not, I was looking out of a window in a multi-story car park because I was taking the pee out of my daughter because she don't like heights, and I headbutted the wall. Look at it. Yeah. And then this morning, I headbutted the sink. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, right. So we've got a few people that have turned out to watch this tonight, Dean. I'll just shout them out. We got Maple Tree Studios, Colin Roberts, Andy, AH Bespoke, SK Crafts, Ian in the Shed, Claire's Crafty Corner. Who else we got? Robert Dolman. I don't know you, but welcome. Wayne Wood Turner. Let's have a look. We got. See, I can never pronounce this. Portuguese. Oh, he knows what I'm on about. It's Jappy. It's Jappy. We're just called. Wayne Woodcraft, Tommy Dunn, Douglas Dunham. Let's have a look. Rob CP, Barry Oak. Okay, so welcome everybody in the chat. So if you want, as you already know, I do the same questions for everybody. But if you've got a question for Dean, pop it in the chat, and if I'll try and have a look every now and again. And
I'll try my best to answer them as well for you. Yeah.
If you don't want to answer them or you think it might be incriminating, don't do it. So welcome. So Dean, tell us a little bit about yourself that your subscribers and your followers on Instagram, because I know you're quite you mainly Instagram. Tell us something that they wouldn't usually know about you.
Right, so I work in a school. I work in secondary school. I'm a DT technician, so I'm basically preparing the wood, showing the kids the techniques that they need to use. So if I make a mistake in my video, it comes back and haunts me quite badly. You get the kids saying, "Oh, you didn't hold the saw like that last week," and that's I sort of think, well, my last name's Wood as well, which is kind of ironic considering what I do. So, yeah, we've. Something that like my YouTube subscribers will probably notice is that I've recently had a baby. Well, my wife, not me. Yeah, that's physically impossible. But yeah, we've had a little baby boy. So my project on YouTube will probably be more centered around him at the moment and building things like jungle gyms and things like that for him to play with.
Cool.
So yeah, that's a little.
Is this your first one? Is your first?
Yeah, it's my first one.
Cool.
Yeah. At the moment, it seems like an angel child at the moment, so everything's going right. I think it's that false sense of security that they lure you into, and then you're like, let's have a second one, and then the second one's just off the wall.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And then if you have a third, then you get middle child syndrome, and they're the worst. But still,
yeah, I always call the first one the practice child, just in case. The practice.
Oh, well, that's good. Okay, so we'll just carry on. Why YouTube? What made you record, edit, and upload that very first video?
Right, so I'm going to start slightly different, if that's okay with you. I'm going to go with the Instagram route, which sort of led into my YouTube. Yeah. So last year at Maker Central, I made a cigar box guitar that got given away as part of the raffle. and yourself and AH Bespoke were sitting behind me and asked me for sticker swaps. And me being, I was a complete. I went to Maker Central. I didn't know anything about the Maker community at the time. I went to the first one. I was about to give up making. Spoke with Jimmy DeResta, which sort of like relit my flame in a way. He was like, just give it a year, see what happens in the year. Come back next year and tell me what's happened. So I decided to make the guitar as a thank you to the event for sort of making me see the light almost.
Yeah.
But when I was being asked for sticker swaps, I was like, maybe I should actually put myself out there now. And that's what started the Instagram, sorry. Following on a few members of the community like Andy Pugh. Don't know if you know him from over on the Small Makers page. Yeah, he was like, look, you should probably do a YouTube channel, even if it's just for yourself and you don't put things out. So I started recording myself almost as like a portfolio to sort of say like, look, this is what I can do. It was like I say, mainly for me, but I put them out there and they were received quite well. I mean, AH Bespoke shared my first video quite a lot, and he was probably one of the driving factors that kept me going in it.
Yeah, and he's a good bloke. He's a good bloke.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do that sticker swap next year.
Should we have a little look at your channel?
Yeah.
Right. So I usually have to cut this bit out. So. Okay, so you've currently got 314 subscribers. Do you know how many videos you got up here? Or is this 5, 10, 15,
24, 20? I think it is.
24, okay.
There is a few things in the pipeline that I've pre-recorded and I'm just waiting to edit them and put them out. So hopefully there should be a new one out tomorrow.
Yeah. I like that that guitar, the Plectrum Catch-All. Yeah. That's really cool. Like
that. My wife was complaining that they're always in the washing machine. And I thought, you know what, I've got to do something about this. So at the end, all of those Plectrums that I just dumped in the bowl, they were just literally, because I'm next to the utility room in my workshop. Yeah. They were all literally off the top of the washing machine straight into the bowl.
Right. There we go. Yeah, there's some nice content on there. I haven't, to tell you the truth, worked my way through them yet. You only get a certain amount of hours in the day that you can spend on YouTube. Yeah. And there's so many people that I watch regularly, you know. So you got
many rabbit holes as well. You'll be watching a video about forging and then all of a sudden you're watching something completely unrelated.
Yeah. And I do try to, I really do try and keep up with the regular people that come into all my lives and, you know, and comment. But, you know, you can't always, can you? So I think we've kind of touched on this already, but inspirations. What's your main inspiration for doing what you do?
My main inspiration, one of the big YouTubers that I watch is Brett McAfee. He's sort of like the fabrication side of everything that he does. That's kind of what I want to try and lead off to eventually. The other huge inspiration is the community. I mean, the maker community on Instagram, YouTube as well, is absolutely like fantastic. So if I see something that sort of catches my eye, I'll usually be like, that looks like fun. I should try and give that a little go and then put my own unique spin on it. Yeah. Get things that sort of way. So a lot of the projects that I'm doing at the moment, like mallets, I mean, mallets have probably been done till they're finished, but I'm sort of putting a little bit of a spin on one. I've got one on the side at the moment that I'm making for Moonshine Metalworks, but it's in the shape of a sledgehammer.
All right. Okay.
So it's all been chamfered and hexagon.
The maker community, I just love it. I mean, I've loved everything ever since I started doing this. I just love the interaction with people, and when you're seeing what they're making, and you think, well, you know, you're not copying. They're putting it out there. If you'd say, look what I've made, have a go, see what you can do. Yeah. And every single one of them will support you all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of the things that I really wish I did earlier was get into the maker community. I've been a maker since I can remember. My grandfather on my dad's side is always messing with clocks and the model railways that you can ride on. Yeah. Used to be taking those apart, using lathes to make pieces for them and whatnot. Yeah. But I sort of really wish I got into the community because I didn't realise until I went to Maker Central how big the community actually is. I thought it was just like me in my shed. Yeah. and like-minded people around the country dotted around in sheds that would only pass in every so often.
Yeah.
But, like going on Instagram and Facebook and seeing how everybody interacts, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. Shall we have a little tour of your shop? Is that all right?
Yeah, it's a very little shop. What I will do is I'll apologise to any of the viewers out there in case I make you seasick because I'm on a laptop.
That's right.
So just unplug and give it a little carry around the workshop.
That's cool.
Is there anywhere in particular you'd like to start?
Wherever. I'll leave it up to you. This is your time, mate.
So over in the corner, so the door's there. So the first thing you come to is the CNC machine. See if I can stabilise that a little bit better. So that's my Ooze Nest Workbee CNC machine. It's 1,000 millimeters long by 750 millimeters wide, and it's a beast of a machine. You probably noticed just like browsing through my videos, a lot of my videos are done on the CNC machine because I'm a bit of a fan of technology. So that's got its own dedicated dust extraction. And then I've got my record power bandsaw. Cool. And then my Lidl pillar drill, which was, I brought that, I went in for salad and came out with that. And no salad. My wife wasn't very happy when I got home, so I went back to Aldi and bought more salad.
I've been there, done it.
I was just like, oh, pillar drill, let's get that. This sign has got to go up on the wall. But it's one of those jobs that we all got these jobs where we think we're going to do them and we never do them. So as I was on about earlier, the mallets that I'm currently making for the Forces Tools guys, that's the sledgehammer one for Steve from Enjoy Metalworks.
Oh, right, and that's wood.
Yeah, that's made out of oak. So it's got a bit of weight to it as well.
Yeah.
Sticker board, we've all got them.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so on your live the other night, it was on about the door. So the other side of that door, that's my, I think we've all got like shelves of shame. That's what I call the shack of shame.
Oh, right. Okay.
All the tools that I've brought to do single jobs around the house and sort of dump from there. They're not multi-use tools. So you'll buy like a tap spanner just to do one tap and then you'll never use it again.
Yeah.
So it's gone behind the door. Cupboards that I've got down here. This is where I keep my Triton spindle sander. Try and get a better view.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably one of my favourite tools in the workshop at the moment, just for profiling things like handles and things like that. So what I did with that one the other day is made a wooden cake knife.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
Used that to sort of profile the bevels onto that. And then in this one, probably tell that I'm a bit of a neat freak. Everything's got a little place.
Yeah, I noticed that actually.
So down here there's all my glues. Finishes are in here as well. The finishes that I use the most is sort of like chopping board oil and I think it's boiled linseed oil.
All right, yeah.
Double check that. Yeah. They're my main go-to finishes at the moment. There's a couple of bits and pieces up there which are projects that are on the go at the moment, and they'll probably make an appearance on YouTube or Instagram sometime this week. Hopefully. And then underneath the CNC table, I've got my Evolution miter saw, which, to be honest, I bought that as a way to do a cheap job around the house and ended up staying with it because it's such a good saw.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
It's got depth stops on it and everything, so it's really good. And then all my hand tools go into these drawers along here. And then in the far corner, got, if I can open it one-handed, so that's where all my chop saws and angle grinder is. The next one up is all my drills and batteries. And then this one, that's all just CNC bits and pieces. And I'll put you down now so I don't make everybody sick.
Cool.
So like I say, it's a very small shop. The other side of the door, I've got an Evolution table saw, which I brought after buying the chop saw.
Right.
That's such a good saw, I might as well try out their table saws.
Have you got the multi-cut blade on that chop saw?
Yeah, so the chop saw's got the multi-cut, but on the table saw I've got a Food Pro blade. It's just a wood blade on that.
Yeah. You won't be wanting to stick slab some metal through that, would you? No.
I was cutting copper pipe on it one day, and I thought, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So,
The knife you've got there, I made a knife way back. I think it's in one of my videos from a long time ago, which I made a Kingwood butter knife, and I gave it to my dad in the end, and they worked really well, didn't they?
yeah.
Nice.
So this one was, I made it because my wife bakes a lot of cakes.
Yeah.
So I've made a cake slicer, but the plans for this one were off Blackbeard Projects off his website.
Right.
So I thought, oh, I'll download that and use that as like a little template to get it out on the bandsaw.
Yeah.
Part of me wishes that I filmed it now. Because I put, I think I might have gone a bit too far and put brass pins in it.
Oh, nice. Mosaic, are they, or just normal?
Yeah, they're just normal, but the handle is made out of the same. The blade oak, it's a piece of old flooring.
Right.
But that's just steel wool and vinegar, which dyed it black. Is one of my favourite techniques.
Yeah, that'd be good to see that done again. You should do a video on that.
Yeah. Well, there's my day tomorrow sorted then.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so we touched on makers. Like you went last year. Obviously, we all know that it's cancelled this year. So next year, I take it you'll be going.
Yeah, I'm going next year. I've got 2 guitars that I'm making for them for the auction. So I made the one. Kind of wish I made 2, but this year I'm definitely going to make the 2.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be twice as good.
Yeah, the party's going to be twice the size.
Yeah. Okay, so projects. What can you share? What you're working on at the moment, or
so at the moment, I've got a couple of guitars on the go. One of the guys off Instagram, I think his YouTube channel is Refuse Reuse, Tom Peterson. He sent me a few American license plates out because we were talking about guitars, and I was complaining about UK license plates not being very good for like the looks. I mean, if I could find a square one, it'd probably sound fine, but it'd just look a bit rubbish. He sent me a couple of those out to try, so that's a video that I'm filming at the moment. I'm going to machine the neck out for that tomorrow, get that all together.
Yeah.
I've got a few commissions on, which I can't really say much about until they're finished.
That's fine.
That's not because like the people have been like, I don't say anything to anybody. It's only because I don't know if it's going to work yet, so I don't want to say anything and curse myself.
Yeah. Okay. Right then, love and hate. Is there a tool that you love, a tool that you really don't like?
So for the tool that I love the most at the moment, it's tear up between obviously the CNC machine. I know most people will come in and be like, oh, that's heathen, you're not really a woodworker if you're using the CNC machine. But for me, it's software side of it, like programming it, like writing the G code and then seeing it come to life is sort of like a huge buzz for me. So like I can do it and I'll just be like, oh yeah, this is amazing. This is exactly what I wanted. And when it doesn't go wrong, it's still got that factor that like it can come back and kick you. If you do it wrong, it goes wrong spectacularly. But when it goes right, it's really cool. And then the other one that I absolutely love at the moment is the Titan Spindle Tender.
All right. Yeah.
So a lot of people have said to me that instead of routing guitar bodies, because I make guitar bodies as well, instead of routing to the lines that you off your templates, sand it to the line, smooth the transition. And as you probably know, with a route table, if you make a mistake, your work piece is gone.
Yeah, definitely.
So with that sanding them, it's just a tool that I should have bought years and years and years ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
And for tools that I don't really like lawnmower, hate the lawnmower.
Okay.
It's just me and gardening just does not go.
That's fair enough.
I get really bad hay fever, so if I cut the grass, it's like eyes are swollen, arms are all itchy.
All right.
So if you ever go past my house and like see my grass, just that's why. I have to be in the mood.
To be honest, right? Before I got my small CNC, and it's only a small, it's nothing like yours. I've got the laser upgrade as well. Before I got that, I thought, God, that's cheating. Anyone can chuck a piece of wood on there and make some. I was grossly mistaken. The stuff that I've had to learn just to make a simple box, you write in the G code, everything like that, and it's so much fun. it's even if you're just playing about with it, it's just you can have a lot of fun with them.
And feeds as well. Like it's maths. You need to know how fast to cut through the wood and how deep to cut without burning your router bits up or just chewing your wood up completely.
Well,
it's a long process, but it's rewarding when things finally come.
Well, this is it. I mean, people think, the router goes in, the mill head goes in and cuts it out, but it doesn't. You've got to have layers and layers and layers and layers, and you've got to go around it, step down, go around it, step down. There's a lot to it. I hats off to people that actually like yours, the great big ones that, fair play to you. Okay, so direction of channel. Where do you hope to be in 12 months?
Hopefully, I want to start doing a little bit more metal work. Maybe not necessarily forging, but a little bit more fabrication. So maybe building a couple of tables out of angle iron. So I mean, I've got the evolution saw, so I can cut my miters and everything. I think I want to learn to weld as well. And fingers crossed, if I can, I'm planning on building a new workshop over the summer. At the back garden, I'm going to rip all the trees and everything out and put down a 24 by 12 shed. I want to get a lathe.
Okay.
Either wood turning or I was also looking at the Axminster engineering lathes as well, because I've used one of those at work with demonstrating for the kids a bit, and some of the stuff that you can make on those is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
I think that's following sort of what my grandfather used to do as well.
Oh right, yeah. I mean, there's the knowledge we've got just in the chat here now, as regards to wood turning lathes. Make use of it, because everybody on here will give you advice on what to buy. I mean, I wish I'd have got one with a deeper, a more of a what do you call it? I can only turn 12 inches.
Yeah.
And I want to do more. I want to do off the side, and you can't on this.
Yeah. So you want something with like an offsetable headstock. So
yeah. So, but then I didn't know what I was doing then. I mean, I didn't know which one. I wouldn't say I didn't want to. I didn't know which one to buy. You know what I mean? Because anything was better than what I had.
Yeah, it's like with the lathe at work. The only lathe that I've ever used is a Union Graduate. I mean, that's probably about 60 years old.
Off a boat.
It's sort of like big steel cast thing that's just standing there and like no variable speed or anything. I think you change the speed by taking the pulley off, changing the actual pulley, not the belt.
Yeah.
So you change the whole thing. So we just leave it on top speed because what do we do? We haven't got a clue. We're trying to teach on things that we haven't got a clue about.
But. Yeah. Okay. So camera equipment. What do you use to record and edit?
Right. So for recording, I use a Canon 500D, which is the sort of little. Well, I've got two lenses on it. I've got an 18-55mm and a huge telescopic lens that I brought off Amazon. Which I really didn't need. And then the majority of my stuff is recorded on my phone. So it's a Huawei P20 Pro. I mean, that films in 4K. It's more than enough for what I do. And then I edit in DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I chose that purely for the color grading, things like that. So I've got fluorescent, I didn't say the word. I've got one of those lights. And in here, it's a bit, if I work with the doors open, it's a bit too yellowy, and then with the doors closed, it's a bit too dark. So I try and pick up my colours on that, and try and get a nice even, because you probably notice I work a lot outside as well.
Yeah.
I like working my tools outside, but like I said, trying to get that nice even light in between inside and outside, it's a bit of a game. So for this Resolve, I can pull all my colours up or down, depending on what I'm doing.
All right, cool. Okay, so shout out. Do you have a shout out for us, or a couple, whatever?
One of the big ones that I'm going to shout out is AH Bespoke. Like I say earlier, it's probably one of the main reasons that I started documenting what I do. Shared my first video. Absolute great guy to chat to. And another one, I'm going to go all the way over to Canada now. The Grant Alexander.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I chat with Grant on Instagram, and like I say, he's a great guy as well. Really good sense of humour, and some of his videos are absolutely hilarious. At the end of every video, he's got a kind of land shark beer in his hand.
Right. Okay, that's a good couple of shout outs. Definitely, guys. Well, Andy's actually in the chat now, but yeah, check him out. Okay, so I'm going to add something to these invasions for the first time. I'm going to do my own shout out to each week, and it's someone in the chat actually this week. Let's go up, and it's Emma Mom Dragon. So, guys, if you're not subscribed to Emma, I know everyone in the chat is subscribed to Emma, but if you're watching this later, head over to Emma Mama Dragons. I'll put a link to her channel in the description. That's it. You've survived. How'd you feel?
Slightly sweaty, but I think that's the heat. It's ridiculously hot.
Yeah.
When I built this place, I over-insulated it.
All right. That's good in the winter, though.
Yeah.
So, questions from the chat. We'll just jump onto them. Right. Okay. So, Baz from Real Simple Things. Question, Dean. Should we put it on the screen, actually? Let's have a look. Any more mini tools, planes in the future?
So with Baz, we were both involved in a collaboration with Spirit and Bear over on Instagram. So we all made our own little mini tools, and I made a hand plane.
Okay.
It was about an inch wide by about 2 inches long, if that, and it worked. I really enjoyed doing it. So yeah, more than likely there will be more mini hand planes in the future.
Cool.
It was almost like keyring size plane, and that you could actually get really decent shavings with, because I used an old saw blade and ground the end of it myself to make my own plane iron for it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was one of the things that I was really sad to send out. I was so happy with it. I looked at it, I was like, could have made another one of these for myself.
Okay, so there's no more questions, so we'll just call it there. Guys that are in the chat, don't forget, head over to Mark, the Gentleman Woodturner. He's going to be doing his live at 8:45, I believe. But he'll still have the chat up now, I think, if you go over there. And Dean, thanks very much for letting us invade you. You hang about a minute. And I'll see you all in Mark's not invasion. Sort yourself out, man.
Mark can come as well if he wants. He can come over. Can have a look.
Yeah, cool. Right then. See you later. See you.